In some conflicts, there is a clear good guy and a clear bad guy. Say, America versus the dirty, rotten, godless, commie Soviet Union in the Cold War. In other cases, maybe a little more of a complicated conflict, there is at least a clear ally involved. Let's say the United Kingdom versus Argentina in the Falklands War. But in some conflicts, say the Iran-Iraq War, for example, you don't really like either side, and you mostly wish that they could both lose. It was this last sort of conflict that just played out on the streets of Portland, where a white leftist woman and a vaguely ethnic leftist man yelled at each other in the middle of the street.
I don't have time to waste on colonizing. She told me to go back to where I came from.
Your driving habits.
Do you see that?
Because we don't drive this way in Oregon. We're kind and we make space.
Okay.
And as someone who's from here as well, I'm so tired of people driving like you just did.
All right, get out of my face.
Constant.
Get out of my face.
Admit you're wrong and that it's not a race thing. Admit that you're driving.
Admit you're white. Admit you have a colonizer mindset.
It is not about race.
Yeah, tell them it. Yell at me.
It is not about race. And
yeah,
that's
it is.
The problem here. If you want things to change, when you fuck up,
so it's on me.
Do not call the race card.
Don't. You do not call the. Shut up. And don't even get in her face. Do not get in her face.
You're taking out your pain and oppression on me right now. Stay out. Stay out of it. We are, and it's important. It's important. Give it a moment. If you want anything to change.
If you want, shut up. It's not on me to change. It's on you and your colonizer mindset. So get the out of my face now, you white lady. You white lady.
I love it. I love it. I can't look away. Like a car accident, which there may have been a car accident here. Eventually there might have been. I can't look away. I love how she screams, "It's not about race." Sure seems like it's about race for that guy. And it's about race because the libs, for decades, have cultivated and promoted a decidedly racial ideology that says white people are evil and every other type of person is good and everything that is in even the slightest way European must be disparaged and overthrown because Western civilization is evil. And now that ideology is coming back for the libs, for those white libs, with a vengeance. I myself, I happen to be immune to white guilt. Perhaps this is because I am Sicilian. We are the swarthiest of the arguably white people. Something about the extra melanin, I think, inoculates us to white guilt, perhaps. But I do not hate myself, and I don't hate my ancestors, and I don't hate white people or any other group of people because of their race, and I don't hate Western civilization. I actually like my neighbors and my ancestors and my country and my civilization, and I want to build all those things up, and I want for them to succeed. There's a big difference between the right and the left today. The conservatives welcome everybody. They encourage everybody. Any race, any sex, whatever. We encourage everybody to come on in if they want to support our cause. We are constantly trying to win people over. We're always bragging about winning over the old school liberals. The old school liberals are coming over to us. The Hispanic vote is coming over. A larger percentage of the black vote, we're going to get it. The libs, on the other hand, are not only not welcoming new people, they are actively excluding their own supporters if they happen to be of the wrong race or sex. They're telling white people, including white liberals, to shut up. Telling men, including liberal men, to shut up. They're telling women, including liberal women who oppose transgenderism, to shut up. They are eating their own. They're going after Bette Midler now, for goodness sakes. They are devouring their own, and they have to devour their own because their political program is to devour. It's to break everything down, topple every statue. The revolution always eats its own children. Right now, head on over to ring.com/Knowles. The summer is upon us, It is time for people to travel. I think about half my team is out right now. They're all out sick, probably sitting on a beach sipping a pina colada somewhere. It's why you need to have a Ring. You want to make sure that your home is protected, whether you're in the home or whether you're outside the home and you're on a beach on the other side of the world. Ring protects not just your front step. You know about Ring's video doorbell. Ring protects not just your windows and your doors from freeze, fire, flood, the bad guys, but if you get Ring Alarm Pro, if you become a pro, just like me, go pro, you can protect your physical and your digital home. CNET calls Ring Alarm Pro a giant leap for home security. I love these guys. I totally trust these guys. They've been with this show since the very beginning. Head on over to ring.com/Knowles right now. That is ring.com/Knowles. Do not wait. Protect your home. Make sure you can rest easy this summer. Protect your physical and your digital life. Ring.com/Knowles. The revolution is eating its own. The libs are pitting everyone against each other. The white libs are now going after, they're yelling, go back to where you come from, to the Native American libs, in whom they have cultivated this sense of identity politics. And then the Native American libs start calling the white libs colonizers. You've got the feminist libs. They're not so happy with the transgender libs, but the transgender libs, they say the feminist libs are TERFs. They're phobic. They're awful. Everybody is at each other's throats. It reminds me of C.S. Lewis. It reminds me of the Screwtape Letters, where the Screwtape Letters is this book, this imagined series of correspondence from a demon to his nephew demon. And they talk about how they're going to win over souls and ruin souls among human beings. And the thing you quickly learn about the demons is they all just want to eat each other. They don't love each other like in the good sense of love, meaning willing the good of the other person. They just want to consume and devour each other. It's kind of that way with the libs. They're just devouring each other right now. You're seeing this with the singer Macy Gray. Macy Gray is a huge lib. Macy Gray is such a big lib that she campaigned a few years ago to get rid of the American flag. She said the American flag no longer represents America. It's a terrible image. It's basically just the new Confederate flag. And she was going after the January 6thers and she was attacking half the country. She is a big time, bona fide, card-carrying lib. And Macy Gray just went on Piers Morgan's show and said, hey guys, man, I'm a big lib and everything, but transgenderism is kind of crazy, right?
And I will say this, and everybody's going to hate me, but as a woman, just because you go change your parts doesn't make you a woman.
Right.
Sorry.
You feel that?
I know that for a fact.
She's right. She's right. Stopped clock twice a day. She's right. She knows it for a fact. Just because you go in and mutilate your body, that if you're a man, that's not going to make you a woman. And she says this, and she gets a whole lot of backlash. J.K. Rowling is another very liberal woman who has made this point, and now she is public enemy number one for the intersectional libs. They call her a TERF, a trans exclusionary radical feminist. They're just hemorrhaging people from their coalition on the left. Well, if you don't agree on transgenderism, you're out. If you don't agree on white guilt, you're out. If you don't agree on this, that, or the other thing, you're out, you're out, you're out. If you don't agree 100% on abortion, if you don't agree on transing the kids, on drag shows in public libraries, they're just spiraling. All of these people who they could ordinarily attract to their side, they're casting them all out. Bette Midler, oh my gosh, Bette Midler. Ever since Trump was thrown off of Twitter, Bette Midler has been my favorite Twitter account because she is so oblivious and she so just regurgitates the most base level left-wing talking points. Bette Midler just got in trouble. She got in trouble because she said, women, we're being oppressed, right? She was just spouting ordinary 40, 50 years ago feminist talking points, but she doesn't realize now that the left is eating its own on feminism because of transgenderism. So she said, women are being erased. They're calling us birthing persons. They're referring to chest feeding, all of the kind of transgender language. And then Bette got a huge amount of pushback, not from the right, from the left. So then Bette said, oh gosh, okay, she issues an apology. She says, people of the world, My tweet about women was a response to this fascinating and well-written piece in the New York Times on July 3rd, and it was this piece about transgenderism erasing women. There was no intention of anything exclusionary or transphobic. It was the same old SHIT women. It's about the same old SHIT women all women have been putting up with since the cavemen. But look, I've fought for marginalized people, and I've always supported and adored them. And she goes on, she's just spiraling. And she's saying, no, I'm a good person. Why are you coming after me? I'm one of the good ones. No, but your talking points are a little outdated, Bette. That's the problem. She then tries to dig herself out of it. She posts a picture of the Supreme Court, but all the conservatives on the court look like Muslims. They've got Muslim headdress and a burqa and the beards on. And the implication here is that they're theocratic or something like that. What Bette doesn't realize is the picture is very Islamophobic, isn't it? Just like that first comment was transphobic, the second one is Islamophobic. 1 minute she's going after the transvestites, the next minute she goes after the Muslims. Why? Because 5-10 years ago, this kind of rhetoric would have been completely ordinary. You wouldn't even think about this sort of thing. The left would have been totally on board with it. But because the revolution constantly has to accelerate, because it's constantly, it never stops, it's always perpetuating itself, eventually it's going to contradict itself. Eventually it's going to eat its own. The people who constructed the terror of the French Revolution, what happens to them? They get their heads chopped off. The revolution eats its own. And poor Bette, she isn't the most up to date. She's not firing on all those pistons, okay? She's using slightly outdated talking points, and it's enough to ruin her reputation among her comrades. Hold up 1 second. We are so close to 1 million subscribers, and I know what's going to happen. The minute we get to 999,999, you know YouTube's going to be waiting on the button. They're just going to wait, and then it's going to hit 1 million. They're going to nuke my entire account, but I don't care. Let's accelerate this baby. What will be, will be. Subscribe, send the channel to your friends. Never miss a notification. We'll see you next time.